You have been to accept defeat, not due to some predetermined fate or inherent shortcomings, but because of the silent, repetitive messages embedded within your mind by those lacking strength, filled with fear, and influenced by unseen adversaries. As long as these detrimental mental patterns persist, no notable change can occur in your life. This address is not mere entertainment. It serves as a blueprint for transformation. It's a powerful weapon for redefining your mindset to such an extent that even your fears will struggle to recognize you. You have been systematically programmed to doubt your capabilities, hesitate in decision-making, drift through life aimlessly, and diminish your own presence. Unless you uproot this harmful wiring, you will continuously undermine your potential for success. Today I present to you a tool that the world neglects to share, the daily regimen of mental empowerment, a commanding voice that replaces your internal chaos with unwavering certainty, a process of repetition that eradicates weakness and instills greatness. Allow this message to resonate in your life each day, and you will emerge transformed, not through sheer will or fleeting hope, but by adherence to foundational spiritual laws. Your mind is incapable of resisting what it is repeatedly exposed to, deeply feels, and obeys consistently. This is that transformative voice. These are the empowering commands. This is your moment to start anew. Every individual is essentially being shaped either by a clear, purposeful intention or by the aimless whims of society. Your thoughts are not random occurrences. They are repeated commands that plant seeds capable of constructing empires or building tombs. If you fail to consciously select and repeat the right thoughts, the wrong ones will inevitably take root. This isn't merely opinion, it's a fundamental truth. Repetition constructs your reality. What your heart frequently feels, your hands will ultimately create. Faith shapes the facts of your life. It is not the loudest voice that governs your choices, but rather the most consistent one. Thoughts are the seeds, habits are the foundation, and actions are the structure of your existence. You cannot escape this reality. You can only choose the materials you use to build your life. The cosmic law of habit, which underpins all permanence, binds whatever you choose to repeat. If you continually express complaints, that habit forms. If you continually sow seeds of faith, that habit becomes part of your character. If you consistently dwell in fear, it shapes your destiny. Your mind is fertile ground, ready to cultivate whatever seeds you decide to plant, and it does not pass judgment on these seeds, it simply obeys. Most people never undergo this crucial rewiring process. They aren't defeated by sheer force. They are subtly conquered by whispers of the news, gossip, ridicule, and mindless chatter. These quiet voices build walls in the mind. Individuals listen passively, and what they absorb without resistance gets installed as part of their mental framework. You must commit to doing what few people will dare to do. Take full ownership of your mind. Not just part-time, not just on weekends, but on a daily basis, even in silence as others rest. If you neglect to reprogram your mindset intentionally, the world will gladly wire you for weakness. The world has no vested interest in your greatness. I speak of autosuggestion, the principle by which your subconscious mind is impressed through ongoing repetition and belief. This is not a frivolous exercise, it is humanity's most potent tool. Through it, your mind can be reconstructed, repurposed, and redirected. Each time you repeat a thought with genuine emotion, your subconscious accepts it as instruction, not as mere poetry or theoretical musings, but as a blueprint for your life. The more often you repeat a thought, the deeper the mental groove it etches into your subconscious. The deeper the groove, the stronger the current that flows through it. Subsequently, these thoughts transform into instincts, ultimately becoming part of your identity. This is why the background noise of your daily life holds greater significance than your occasional peak decisions. What you repeatedly allow in the background becomes law within your being, shaping your beliefs in a lasting manner. Consider the life of Thomas Edison, a master of deep thinking. He programmed his mind each night with probing questions, training it to process while he slept. He did not seek answers through wishful thinking. He anticipated them from the infinite intelligence that complies with clarity and repetition. When others proclaimed something was unattainable, Edison insisted, "It will be done." He consistently internalized this belief, transforming it into reality. Failure was not a setback, but merely information for him, and this mindset contributed to his monumental inventions that shaped the modern world. You must now emulate Edison's approach. Train your mind through disciplined daily practice. Speak only thoughts that resonate with your definitive purpose. Write them down. Vocalize them. Let these affirmations permeate your environment. Let them echo in moments of silence. Now repeat with me. I only speak in accordance with my defined purpose. I permit no thought that undermines my resolve. My life is sculpted by what I repeatedly affirm, not by what I simply wish for. These are not mere affirmations. They are potent instruments. They embody laws. When engaged with faithfully on a daily basis, they serve as commands to reprogram your subconscious mind. Every word that enters your awareness either strengthens you or stifles your growth. Every influence you allow, every doute ici. But you harbor, every song you hum, it all becomes internalized suggestion. The mind obediently complies with suggestions that are emotionally charged and repeated. Recognize this. Repetition is not neutral. It is transformative. It serves as an installation of new programming, a spiritual engraving of your will. If you don't control the input, you can never wield control over the output. Let me reiterate, repetition is not mere background noise, it constitutes nourishment. Just as a person weakens by consuming poison, the mind becomes anxious by internalizing fear. Conversely, just as the body gains strength from nourishing food, the mind grows clear and powerful by embracing commanding thoughts. Thus, I provide you with your daily tasks. 1. Write down your definitive aim. 2. Speak it aloud in the morning. 3. Allow it to play in the background while you work. Recite it silently as you walk. Affirm it sincerely before you sleep. Permit no idle thoughts to go unchecked. This isn't a one-time activity. Engage with it daily until your repetitions transform merely into your identity. Until the individual who once doubted becomes the new man who now commands his life. Until the wiring of weakness is supplanted by a current of empowerment. You may wonder if this will truly work. Let me assure you, it is already unfolding. Your current beliefs, habits, and self-confidence have not arisen by chance. They are a direct reflection of past repetitions. You are already wired, but now you must consciously choose to rewire yourself. By repeating this message daily, you create a new rhythm for your personal transformation. You don't need a sudden surge of motivation. You require sustained momentum, which is birthed through repetition. There is no expectation for you to change overnight, but you must commit to repeating positive changes every single day. Allow these new affirmations to settle into your subconscious, overriding old scripts and becoming so familiar that your fears will no longer feel comfortable. I leave you with this critical truth. If you do not actively reprogram your mind, the world will undoubtedly wire you for weakness. However, if you take control, if you establish your strength, and if you vocally repeat empowering thoughts with conviction and clarity, then you will become the individual who commands respect and attention. You will shape your own identity, influencing every aspect of your existence. You are not merely the sum of your habits or defined by your past or mistakes. You are the collection of thoughts and actions that you practice frequently enough to be mistaken for your true identity. The image of yourself that you hold is not fixed. It is a construction of your habitual practices. What has been practiced can be replaced by new, empowering practices. Identity is not everlasting. It is shaped by the rhythms you choose. A person shapes who they become through their thoughts, emotions, and repetitions. Every belief you cling to was once an idea you contemplated long enough to adopt as your own. The moment you cease to repeat it, it loses its strength. The older version of you, the one who hesitates, doubts, and falters under pressure, is not an insurmountable curse. This version is just a rhythm, a pattern, an all too familiar song played too many times. He is the default voice that has grown powerful simply because no stronger voice has taken its place. You do not need to heal the old self or uncover his origins. Your task is to replace him. Just like you can overwrite a note with a new line, you can alter your identity through new commands, rituals, and beliefs. Remember this: every thought carries a command. Each time you think like the person you used to be, you reinforce that old self using language that sustains him. But if you consciously replace those thoughts, if you starve him of attention and instead nurture the new identity, the old self will fade away. The old self is not an adversary. He is simply a habit, one that can be weakened by intentional starvation and superseded by deliberate intention. This is not conjecture. It is a well-documented principle. Take the life of Andrew Carnegie as an example. He was not born with the mindset of a tycoon. He emerged from poverty amidst laborers, saturated in a mindset focused on wages and survival. Yet he chose not to rehearse this narrative. Instead, he envisioned wealth, service, power, and purpose, and he committed to revisiting this vision daily. His former mindset eventually faded, and a new identity took its rightful place. This same law applies to you. You have carried this outdated version of yourself not because of strength, but because of familiarity. And as we know, familiar does not equate to wise. It merely suggests that he has been overly nourished. Now it is time for you to deconstruct that old self. Cut the repetitive threads that tether you to doubt, disrupt the rhythm, and stop playing the tunes of your past. Disassemble a weak identity, not through confrontation, but by consciously choosing to disallow his thoughts and behaviors. Commit to repeating the opposite messages daily. Begin with this affirmation: I no longer derive my identity from others. I construct my own identity. Each repetition of strength replaces a previous weakness. These words are not hollow. They are chisels, powerful instruments of mental creation, tools that strike against the hardened shell of your old self, paving the way for the emergence of a new identity. Recognize that visualization is not an act of mere dreaming. It is a process of design. Whatever you repeatedly design in your mind becomes law within your subconscious. If you visualize your future self with sufficient clarity and consistency, backed by emotion and choice, your external life will inevitably reflect that vision. Mental rehearsal is a vital construction process, and like all construction, it requires continuous dedication, not fleeting emotional inspiration, but disciplined effort. Stated aloud, the old self is no longer relevant. Only the man of faith, clarity, and command may take center stage now. Visualize who you are becoming, not in terms of fantasy, but as a blueprint. What do you assert in the face of adversity? How do you maintain your composure during times of pressure? What conversations do you choose to partake in? What affirmations do you hold dear in private? Let your practice commence here. Allow the background noise of your life to echo the name of the person you aspire to be. Let your speech foster his presence. Immerse yourself in books that reinforce his identity. Use moments of silence as sacred time to rehearse his purpose. The world will strive to offer you the former version of yourself via memories, habits, and the expectations of others. But now you will recognize that he is not truly you. He is merely a mask that has been worn for far too long. Now that you have chosen to take charge of your life, this outdated self will gradually fade away, though not without resistance. He will plead for comfort and seek to revert to familiar patterns and conversations. You must deny him that comfort. Affirm, I have a new purpose and I no longer serve comfort. I serve the man I have resolved to become. Let each repetition mark a farewell to the old identity, while every new command constructs the foundation of the new. So tonight, when you lay your head down, let your final thoughts not dwell on who you were, but rather on the repetitious affirmation of who you are becoming. Engage in powerful affirmations, immerse yourself in empowering messages, and ensure that your subconscious rests not in a state of confusion, but in a place of constructive intention. Remember, repetition serves as your instrument. Faith acts as the driving force. Vision shapes the form of your future. What you repeat with conviction on, you will manifest in your life. Starve the old self and nurture the new vision. Declare daily what echoes in the corridors of your mind shall solidify your identity moving forward. With unwavering resolve, I urge you to begin this transformation starting tonight. Replace the echoes of weakness with the powerful voice of strength. Repeat affirmations of courage until they become ingrained in your very being. And when the old self dares to resurface, resist the urge to engage or explain. Simply restate your new truth. You are no longer constructing an outdated identity. You are creating a new destiny. The world may not recognize this shift immediately, but it will soon have to adapt to the new name you wear. Let us finally cast aside the ultimate misconception. It is neither knowledge, talent, nor experience that rewires a man. It is belief, applied belief. And belief isn't a whisper of hope. It is a command expressed through repetition. Thoughts that are revisited with emotional intensity solidify into belief, and beliefs expressed through consistent action manifest as reality. Allow me to share a formula, a universal truth discerned through the analysis of every successful individual. Thought plus repetition plus faith equals reality. Embrace this equation, understand it, internalize it, apply it. This is not a mere philosophical concept, it's the blueprint for personal transformation. Thought is the blueprint, the initial vision, the inner landscape. However, a blueprint alone is not enough. It must be revisited, reinforced, and driven with conviction, clarity, and rhythm. Your journey toward reshaping your identity begins now, and it is a journey that must be undertaken with unwavering commitment and belief in your own transformative powers. Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to stay updated with more motivational content. Like, share, and comment to support our work and spread the message.